Hello there, everybody. We are here with the final segment of the indie tarot decks. Now, strap in. This is going to be another long one because we are just powering through, and I think this is more than the other videos. Starting with an honorable mention, though, of a mass market deck that snuck its way into the indie deck pile, so slay on this one for apparently really having that indie deck look, because I very intentionally put it into that pile. But it is the Wild Unknown Tarot. And honestly, I stand by that. I think the look and feel of this deck feels very indie to me. I love the cardstock on this tarot. This is one I got this past year, and I'm really excited about it. I got it used somewhere. I don't know. Can't remember. I get, especially if it's mass market, I always look for it used because, I don't know, I love getting a deal. I really do. So I am the queen of eBay and Mercari. But anyway, I really enjoy this deck. I had never tried it before until this year, but I really enjoy it. The whole Wild Unknown series really grew on me this year, and it's become a set of decks that really feel like staples. Certainly the oracles, but I really enjoy having the tarot as well. It feels very universal, really just versatile. I love it. So, bit of a sneaky one that ended up in the indie tarot pile, but that is the Wild Unknown Tarot. Now let's get into the rest of the indie decks. Of course, again, no certain order, just grabbing from the top of the pile. First, we've got the haxa Tarot. This is the indie version of it, but there is a mass market edition out now that looks similar, except the titles on the bottom are different. But I really enjoy this deck. This is one that it really took, and I find this is the same with all of MJ Cullinane's decks, that when I get them, I know there's really something special about them. There's something I really like, but it always takes a long time for the deck to really sort of, I don't know what other way to explain it other than like make its home here. There's some decks I feel that way, where it almost feels like I have to kind of let it sit out in my space and, I don't know, acclimate itself, and her decks are always ones I feel that way with. Because right now, like the Raven's Dream I showed in the last video, and I really enjoy it, but it's one that has, for the past few deck shifts on my shelves I keep for the decks I'm using right now, it's just kind of sat there, and it feels like it just has to sit there for a bit before I can really get into it, because it just has to acclimate. And this one was no different, but we've been through that phase, and I use this one quite often. I really, really enjoy it. It's got a very unique fairy energy to me. It feels very wild, and interestingly, it feels a bit more leaning towards the darker half of the year for me. I think because a lot of the color tones are just darker, but something about the figures here just seem like they fit this time of year. So I think this one's actually, I'm going to keep this one out as a current vibe kind of deck. I really love this one. So that is the haxa Tarot. I love the bag I have for this one too. I've got quite a few of these bags. I'm not certain on the shop name. Let me pause and figure that out, because I don't want to trust myself to link it later. So let me look for it so I can at least give you the name. Okay, it is called Talitha's Altar. Let me see if I could get the phone screen to... That is the shop I get these bags from. I've got a few now. I love them. They really fit. If you've got a deck that is either just kind of chunky or more of that oracle size like the MJ Coolning decks are, the bags fit it perfectly. So I've got this one, and actually the next deck I have to show is one of these as well. The Revival Art Tarot also happens to fit perfectly in these bags. This is the first edition of the Revival Art. It's got these backs. And I really love this deck. I love Revival Art to begin with. It's really is one of my favorite art time periods. So having this deck is just, it's such a joy. I love using this one, especially come springtime. It just feels like the perfect spring deck. But also, I don't know, like I feel like from January through May is this deck's time to shine. Oh, look how beautiful that is. To me, it feels like a pretty straightforward reader. I don't really go to this one to necessarily feel like I'm getting anything super, super profound, per se. It's more so an enjoyment of the found art, but also I think the choices were really, really well made. So it's kind of fun to explore the art pieces in here. I just love this one. It's so good. It's so good. So that is the Revival Art Tarot. Alright. Let's go into a kind of the opposite direction here. The Rainbow Tarot. Now, I heard that this one's going mass market soon. How exciting! I love, 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 love the backs on this deck. They are so fun. We've got this fun holographic sighting. The cardstock on this deck is one of my favorite cardstocks. Ooh, oh my goodness. There goes the box. Okay. Basically, if it's not a linen cardstock, I want it to be this kind of, how do I just explain it? Like this kind of swishy matte. I don't know how to explain what the cardstock is, but I love it. This deck is so, so much fun. I love all the colors going on in here. It really is, it's an RWS clone. And actually, I'm looking at this and kind of wondering if it holds a similar spot to me as the, oh, am I going to remember it? It's not the Pride Tarot. It is the, oh my gosh, I'm not going to remember it. I have to look it up. I know it's not called the Pride Tarot, but that's always what I want to call it. Because that's a different deck. The Queer Tarot. The Queer Tarot. That would be an interesting exploration because I don't find that I use either of the decks super, super often. Purely because, well, I love colorful decks like this. I don't find myself using them super, super often. And I wonder, because, again, it is an RWS clone. Both of them are RWS clones. And I guess I kind of wonder if... Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. And I do believe this deck, the creator Sonia Lazo, I feel that they make an effort to sort of neutralize gender in this deck. I do feel that, if I'm remembering correctly, that was an aim. I'm not certain. But regardless, I wonder if I almost should be viewing it through the lens of colorful decks, because it's so interesting. I feel like I'm a colorful deck person, but in practice, I don't use them tons. And so I think that may be something to consider of, if I had just one of each. Look at that card. I love that card. Or if I had just one or the other, I should say, would I use the other more? I don't know. I do feel like I lean more towards this one, but I don't know that I'd get rid of the Queer Tarot, because I think it's just so fantastic and fantastically done. I don't know, it feels worth holding on to for me, but it's just something to think about, I suppose. But I love this one, the Rainbow Tarot. It's a great one. Very pleased it's going mass market. Look at, and just all the details are so cute. Like, oh hey. Oh, it's just so fun. I almost feel like this one it needs to like sit out. I do have a basket kind of my fun, colorful, more childlike decks going, because another purpose behind doing this is really like reorganization every year. So I think that needs to go in there for sure. All right, let's keep going. I am talking a lot today. Dark Mansion Tarot. This one's great. I don't use it tons, but I just like it. I bent some of the cards, so as much as I tell myself like, oh, like, I won't notice it, sometimes I do. Like, there's one. It's just that, like, the way I usually pull cards, when there's cards that are bent, they'll stand out. So I just really need to shift the way I pull cards. But I just like having this one. I feel like every time I show it, that's what I say. But it reminds me of the books I love to read. I love anything set in Victorian England, especially if we're getting spooky, mystery. That's my favorite, and that's what this deck feels like to me. So even though I don't use it tons, I just like it. So it's not going anywhere. I think it's fun. This is another one, it feels a little bit tough to pair, I think, because there's detailed imagery and then this really detailed border. I have a tough time pairing it, so if you have something you like using with this deck, let me know. But that is the Dark Mansion Tarot. Dame Darcy's Witchy Cat Tarot. This one is just fun. Oh my gosh, it makes me so happy. Look at the backs. Ooh, I think this one needs to go in that aforementioned basket. I think it would actually fit in well there. Look how cool this looks on camera, how it's like a keyhole. I really love that about this deck. I really like Dame Darcy's artwork. It's colorful and kind of strange and really amplified with these anthropomorphic cats. The cat people we got going on here. But there's something about it that I just really like. And I don't really honestly use this one. I don't know for what reason I even would be like, yep, this is what I have to use today, but it's another one. I just like having it. I just like having it here. I think it's fun. This is the only one that I don't really feel like fits with the rest of the deck, but that's okay. You know what I think this would be fun with, and I don't have it, but the Lucy Cavendish, Jasmine Beckett Griffith, Alice Oracle. I think this tarot would be really fun with that. Maybe I should look into getting that. I don't know. If you have this tarot, let me know what you like using it for, with, because it's not going anywhere. And I like to make use of everything I have, so of course I'd love to use this more. It's okay if I don't, but it's so fun. The backs just make me so happy. Oh my gosh. So that is the Witchy Cat Tarot. But I think it'll do well being in that kind of fun, good times, colorful basket. So we're going to stack that with the Rainbow Tarot. All right. The Liler Tarot. This is the first edition of it. I know there is a more recent edition. Where is the little white book? I really should keep that together. That's a little bit more luxe. Labels the cards a little bit more clearly, I want to say, but I really like this version. I think it's really, I don't know, I really like it. And I know there's a lot going on here with, like we've got the element, and I want to say it labels planets. I don't know, clearly there's a lot of symbols here that I don't know about. So I think this will be really fun as I have the mission to learn more about astrology this year. This could be a good tool to see how it kind of simply relates to tarot. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting this all wrong. But I think that's what's going on here. But I also really love the artwork. It's a good deck. I love the size of it. I just have a feeling this one's gonna have a moment for me this year, and I just feel it in my bones. I feel it in my bones. It's gonna have a moment, and I'm really excited for it. To the point, I think I should just leave it out, right? I should just leave it out. Let's do it. Okay, Liler Tarot. How fun and exciting. Yeah, let's leave that over there. Mystic Masters Tarot. A favorite, a treasure. I love this deck so much. This feels like a real summertime deck for me. I don't know why, but I think it's just the bright splotches of color. I love bringing this out with the Hellenic Oracle. I think they are a fantastic pairing. And I don't know, I've tried to describe the kind of readings, especially when I put those two together. It feels like it's really this interaction between humanity and divinity type thing. It's really, really cool, the energy they bring to each other, and I really, really love this one. I think it's so awesome. Everything about it. This one comes out all the time. The cardstock is great. It's just a joy to use. It really is a joy to use. I need to print out the guidebook, because Danny has a PDF guidebook, and I like having them printed, and there's so many I have saved that I just haven't printed, so I need to do that, because the guidebook's really good too. So that's the Mystic Masters Tarot. Smoke, Ash, and Embers. A great one. I probably don't use this one as much as I use Oak, Ash, and Thorn. But, I mean, the Three Trees Tarot decks, they also really feel like treasures, don't they? And I really enjoy this one. I always seem to have a period of time in the summer where dragon energy is just it for me. And so that's where this one falls. I've said it before, but to me, Oak, Ash, and Thorn is fall, winter, and Smoke, Ash, and Embers is spring, summer. just when it's warm out, it's time for dragons. When it starts to get cold out, that's when I want the squirrels and the rabbits and the foxes. But I really love this deck. I really enjoyed using it this year with the Garden Dragons, Field Guide to Garden Dragons Oracle. It's such a good one. Oh my gosh, I love these. Every time I take one of these decks out, I'm like, gosh, I could look at it all day, every day. It's so magical. It's so magical. So that is the Smoke, Ash, and Embers Tarot. And this bag that I made, this is probably one of my favorites I made. I just love it. I love it. Is the Future Ancestors Tarot. And this deck just has such a good feel. It's not one that comes out an extreme amount for me, but it has a calming, quieting energy like nothing else I have. And it's one of those when I need that energy, I really need that energy. And I think the little pamphlet it comes with, it's a little fold out. It gives each card just one sentence, but boy is that one sentence so good. Oh, I love this one. I really do. There's something about it that's instantly calming, and it feels like, I feel like if you were in any of these cards, it would just smell like eucalyptus and like that kind of slight spa kind of smell. I've never been in a spa, but how I imagine a spa would smell. That's what I think this deck is, so I really enjoy it. I love the rosemary on the back. Rosemary is hands down my favorite herb, so I like that connection there. So that is the Future Ancestors Tarot. Another one I really don't pair with, I don't really know what to pair with it. So if you have something you like pairing with that, also let me know. Oh, so many questions I have. Gosh, feels like I'm giving homework. Okay. This is Trion Fidel Luna. What do they say about this? Paradoxical. Oh my gosh, I couldn't think of that word. This is the Trion Fidel Luna. Paradoxical. So this is the Marseille version. I got this a few months ago now. And love it. Oh my gosh, do I love it. It is so, so good. I hesitated because I have two versions of the illustrated, two different colorings, so I was like, oh, is that, like, should I get this one? But I'm really happy to have it in the original Marseille edition now. And I'm so obsessed with this coloring. I love the brown tone of it. It pairs so nicely with so many of my decks. This feels like the first Marseille deck I have where immediately it just meshed with so much of my collection. Because usually Marseille feels so hard to pair, but not this one. This has been easy, and I'm really excited to spend some more time with this in the new year. Because I think it's fantastic. It's so good. So that is the Trion Fidel Luna Paradoxical. And you see what I did here? I made the same bag as my original illustrated, but in different tones. Don't ask me why the orange. The orange just was saying, pick me, pick me. So that's what we went with. And I love it. Makes me happy, that one. All right. The Tiger Tarot. This was entirely, and Andy made me do it, for sure. She loves this deck and was using it in a lot of readings over the summer and showing the guidebook, and the guidebook is just so cool. So I didn't get this one for a bit because usually collage decks in this style are just not really my thing. I'm not much, honestly, of a collage deck person. So I don't have many, at least like in this very collaged, obviously collaged style. What do I mean by that? I don't know. I'm sure you, maybe you get the vibe. But anyway, the guidebook was just so magical that it just really sold me on it. And so when I heard that they were down to kind of their last bit of copies of this deck, I do think there's still more, but I don't know how many they said they had, but they're not reprinting it. So I wanted to take the chance to get it because it's just such a beautiful reader and has such an interesting outlook. And just, I don't know, it was like every time Andy read the guidebook for the card, it just was one of those where it's like, ooh, I need to sit with that for a minute. It's not even anything super long. It just is one of those head scratchers where it's like, I have to sit with that for a minute and think about it. And I love decks that kind of make me pause and be like, wait, what? What did that say? Like, that was really good. So I'm excited about this one. I don't know it super well yet, but I'm really excited to pull it out some more soon. So that is the Tiger Tarot. And this was definitely, if you want to see more of a flip through, Meg Rose Honey Ritual has a beautiful walkthrough of this deck. So definitely check that out if you're interested. Okay. The Desert Illuminations Tarot. I don't know how I ended up with this one. I think I got it used because someone was selling it for a really low price or something. I genuinely don't know. But I think this one, unfortunately, is out of print now. But I know I did not pay an out of print price because it's not my usual style. I've got a bunch of them upside down. I'm trying to fix it. This is not my usual style of deck, but I loved the colors of it. I loved just how fun it is. I love the aliens in it as well. It just felt so different from anything else I have. The cardstock is beautiful. I love the cowboys. Like, it feels really fun. So I remember getting it for that reason. And if I'm being real, I really have not used this one since I got it. But it just, I don't know, there's just something I like about it. As you could tell, I really don't have qualms with having some, just because I like them. Not really using them much, but something I've learned about myself is if a deck is not meant to be with me, even if it's just for a bit of time, I will always have a gut feeling about it, and I don't have that gut feeling about this one. Like, to me, I'm like, no, it stays. It just does. And to me, that tells me that there will be a moment in time where I will circle back around to this one, and it's gonna have its moment. And the moment's just not right now. But in the meantime, I love looking at it. I love the pink. There's so much pink going on. It's so fantastic. It's so fun. I mean, it's definitely a summer deck in my brain. It is heavily slotted in summer because of the colors and just the desert theme. It's summer to me. So, that is the Desert Illuminations Tarot. But yeah, that's just an interesting thing I've learned, where there's a gut feeling involved with this can go, or no, this has to stay, because even though I haven't used it, I will. I don't know when, but at some point it's gonna happen where there's been times where it's like I don't listen to that gut feeling and rehome a deck and then end up re-getting it, because it's like, then there comes a time where I'm like, wait, no, I see what the purpose of that was. So, anyway. That ramble aside, Bumbleberry Hollows Tarot. This is just, it's just a cutie, right? I love this one. This is a older version of it, so there is that card. I forget which one it even is. Maybe it's like the 10 of Cups, I think, that has 9 cups in the image. But when I'm using this deck, it really is, this one's just a fun one to me. And so I can't really say I'm paying so much attention to really what's going on in each card. To me, when I'm pulling this out, it's just because it's cute. Because it's so cute. Oh my gosh, I love this one. This is another one that is so fun to bring to work to do. I do just a short, quick reading when I get into work as like a transition thing for me, because I tend to have trouble with transitioning between tasks and physically being places, so pulling some cards helps me do that every day. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. So cute! So cute. I love this deck. It also just has such nice card stock, has such a good feel to it. Yes, a great one. Bumbleberry Hollows. She-Wolf Tarot. This is a fantastic example of one that I got because it piqued my interest and then it sat for quite a few months, not really getting used. Oh, and then did it have its moment. Andy and I did a whole study basically of this early this summer and got so much out of it. Oh my gosh, was it so good to spend time with this deck. And now, after doing that, it's one that, it's like I know exactly how I like to use it. I know exactly the moment for this deck. And I love it. I really, really love this one. It's just, it had to sit for a bit until I could make sense of it. And now the sense has been made. And it gets reached for quite often because it has its rhyme and reason for me. But I love this one. I think it's just such a good one. This is another one that's, I think, going to be really, really cool to pull out as I am paying more attention to just the astronomical happenings this year. That's really a big goal of mine. And I'm excited about it. So, that's the She-Wolf Tarot. Okay, next is the Forger's Daughter Tarot. Ooh, is this a good one? This actually reminds me a bit, I do think it's topically pretty similar to the Animal Botanical Tarot. But it has such a different vibe to it that I see value in having both. But I will be curious, because to me, this is a spring, summer, and I know the Animal Botanical is going to be more spring, summer. I'll be curious to see, as we get into that season, if it feels like they are competing with each other, because I could see that happening. Because in all of these cards, or not all of them, but most of them, we've got, like, an animal, a plant, an insect. This one, though, brings in, like, crystals and things like that. But it is a category of, because then now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, well, the Meraki Tarot is kind of similar, but that one feels more magical worlds than anything else. That to say, though, this is a category of deck that I am okay having some overlap with because I use my animal deck so much, but I will be curious to see how they compare come that season. But for now, I love both, and probably both will have their equal uses. So, that is the Forager's Daughter Tarot. Next is the Practical Magic Inner Witch Tarot. I like this one. I think it's a really, really cool tarot. It is really especially fun. This was the first October I was able to use it because we ended up getting the Kickstarter in a bit after October last year, but it's certainly one that could be used all year round. It just feels like a really fun, witchy tarot. Like very, I mean, no offense by this, but it feels kind of like a bit of the old school Wiccan, leaning slightly cheesy kind of witchy. And again, I mean no offense by that, but that's just the vibe I get from this tarot. It's a good one. I don't think I really have anything more to say. It's just, it's fun. There is something about this deck, though, like, I don't know. There is something about it, a specific vibe I get that I don't know how to explain it. Do I even want to keep trying? I don't know. There is an interesting undertone vibe with this one. I think it needs to, okay. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, so we are gonna stop talking. That's the Practical Magic Inner Witch Tarot. And I really love, the Kickstarter came with a bunch of extra cards. I really do like using those as altar cards. It's fun. Okay. Zeke's Arcana. Can we just with the bag moment? Oh my goodness. So good. Oh my gosh, this deck is everything. Look at the pink. Pink, 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 pink. Oh my gosh, do I love the colors in this. Already, hello? Beautiful. This deck is wacky and weird and colorful. Like, oh, it feels like Lisa Frank just like threw up every idea that's ever entered her brain. You know what I mean? Like, we are in Lisa Frank's dream realm. Her subconscious. Like, we all hopped on the magic school bus and like went into Lisa. Oh my gosh, what a weird way to say that. I'm thinking of the episode where one of the kids is sick, so they like shrink the magic school bus and go up his nose. Sorry, that's where what a weird thing to say about Lisa Frank. So sorry, Lisa Frank. Anyway. I love this one. Look at that little dog just dancing on a lobster. Oh, it's so fun. I really, as you can tell, enjoy this one. It makes me so happy. Ooh, this has to go into the color bin. I'm making a color bin. Yes. Why not? Because sometimes, no matter what time of year, you just need the colors. And this brings all the colors and all the fun. I love it. Zeke's Arcana. Such a good one. I'm so obsessed with this bag I made for it too. Ooh, it's so good. Walking Meditation Tarot. An always favorite. Ooh, jeez. I saw the other day too, the creator, Danielle Norman, took out a bunch of the winter cards. And that really makes me want to also take out the winter cards just to see what's going on there. I think it's this, well, no. Are they split up by season? Are the suits split into seasons? Let's try and take a little notice, because I think that's probably the case. Yep. Duh. Oh my gosh, duh. So I'm guessing yeah, so the sword suit is winter, obviously. I don't think I really actually noticed that before. Silly of me, and I use this one all the time, but it's a favorite. I think it's so well done. It's such a good landscape deck. Gosh, it just makes me happy. It's a really good one for that connection to nature type of reading. Ooh, now that I'm looking at it, this would also be really cool with the Hellenic Oracle. Oh, how pretty. It's so beautiful. It's so well done. So, that is the Walking Meditation Tarot. Okay, what are you called? You are called the Wooden Tarot. The Wooden Tarot. Both of the decks by this creator, the name always escapes me. This is a cool one. It's not one that I have used super often, but again, I think it's gonna have its moment. I really do. This is making me so excited because I feel like, so my general way, it seems, of going about things is I will spend kind of a period of time collecting a little bit. Especially, again, finding deals. This was an eBay one, and someone clearly kind of halfway edged it in gold, and then half didn't finish. But I kind of like it, so I'm leaving it alone. And then this time of year, especially like with doing this kind of thing of going through my whole collection, I like separating out decks that I haven't really worked with yet and really have a current interest of working with. And this time of year I tend to really kind of slow down with the collecting, I guess you could call it, and just have so much fun really then going in a bit deeper with the decks that I have brought in. And it's just, oh, it's such a fun thing. Look how good that card is. So I'm really, really excited about this one. I've had this actually probably for like 2 years now. So I'm feeling like, but I'm getting a feeling that its time is here. And I'm so excited by that because I think it's so neat. So that is the Wooden Tarot. So we're going to leave that out in the pile I have going of let's do the dang thing, you know? Let's get into it. Oh gosh, I don't know what this one is called. This is one that Andy sent me because she was spending some time with this deck, but ended up, this is a trimmed version, and she got herself an untrimmed version. What are you called? I'm gonna have to go look. BRB. Okay, the lovely Ohm Tarot, which I feel like I've not really seen too much. This one was totally new to me. I had no idea about it. It seems interesting. It seems interesting. I honestly really just have to kind of explore this one. Currently, I can't say I feel super excited by it. Looking into just sort of the like, theme of the decks, it's not really... It's a lot to do with, like, chakras and things like that, which is not really totally my thing. So, I don't know. I think this one for now is going to go into the, I'm going to think about it pile. But I feel like its time and space is more so going to be kind of summertime. So I'm interested to pull it in then and explore it a little bit more. But I think for now it can go into that thinking about it pile, because it doesn't really seem like the themes in it are ones that I really connect to. But it looks really interesting. I was looking at the guidebook a bit just now, and I do like how it's set up, because it gives you little, like, explanations of the things showing up in the images, and I do love when decks do that, so that is something to consider. Okay. Tarot of the Crone! Tarot of the Crone. My last Ellen Lorenzi Prince deck. Is that true? Nope. Second to last Ellen Lorenzi Prince deck. I love this one. I love this one. This one is unfortunately out of print. But I really like anything with the crone kind of theme. It's something I just really enjoy, even though that is not necessarily the overarching stage of life I'm in. I do feel like, while there is the overarching stage of life, I do feel like with that whole maiden mother crone that we all cycle through it personally more frequently. Certainly I do feel it with the changing seasons. Like here in the winter time, it feels like that crone energy is just sort of existing within everyone. But then even also within, like, the span of a month. That's my thoughts on it. So I really love anything with the crone theme, and I think this one is just so fantastic. It feels really witchy and magical. This one is so cool to pair with the Weaver's Oracle. I really love those two in combination. And this also with Song of the Grandmother is such a good combo too. So that is Tarot of the Crone. Okay, next is my last Ellen Lorenzi Prince deck, and it's the Minoan Tarot. This purchase was a bit more of a... I found it used for a really good price, and so it was worth it to me to really just honestly round out the collection, because I was like, okay, I've got all of them now except this one. And it's really beautiful. It's not, this was a bit more of a collector thing for me, honestly. I don't really see myself, as of right now, using this one too much. And so, in all reality, I probably should just... I have the Greek Goddess Tarot in that, like, I gotta think about it pile, but in all reality, I should just put the two of these together somewhere. Maybe I should keep all of them together. Hold the phone. Duh. If I've got a little collection going, I should keep the collection together. Obviously. Okay. Never mind. That's what we're gonna do. Because these do feel a little bit, like, collectible to me just because I love her artwork so much. I like even just looking at these decks. It's really, really neat, and I like her ideas. I even just like going through the guidebooks sometimes. I like her ideas behind the tarot and how she relates certain things. So, anyway, that's the Minoan tarot. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna piece together our little Ellen Renzi Prince deck collection, especially now that I've got the Indie Dark Goddess. Oh my gosh, wait, that's gonna be cool. That's exciting. Let's put that aside to do that. Okay. The Mirgold Tarot. This is a cool one. This one feels very, kind of like, it's got an ancestral feel to me, but ancestral on a different level, where the Carte Postale Tarot feels ancestral in, like, using it would get messages from people either, like, I have known in this lifetime or can see on a family tree, a bit more direct. This feels kind of, like, deeply ancestral, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how else to say that, but almost ancestral in a magical sense. Those are the words I'm gonna use. But I really like this one. I think it's so gorgeous. This one I really, really love. It feels really potent, is a good word. Around Samhain time, when you have that thinning of the veil, this feels like a deck that constantly exists in that liminal space of the veil being thin. So it just feels like it carries that energy. And I really love it for that. So even other times of the year when I feel like I want that more sort of like the magical aspect of Samhain energy, this is always the one I think of. It just feels like it carries it all year long. So, that's the Mirgold Tarot. I love that one. Next, we've got the Rain Shadow Tarot. I already know this is one that I want to put in the pile of we gotta spend some time together. Because I know this is one that feels exciting on some level to me. But I don't know it very well yet. And I want to, because it just... there's something about this artwork that feels... I don't know, it feels like an energy I want to be hitting on right now. So... yeah, I really like this one. I don't know it well yet. I haven't used it too much. But I know it's just... it's gonna hit different right now. I just feel it in my bones. This is by Claire Mack. We will see in my Indie Oracle videos. I have both of her other Oracle decks. Love them to pieces. Love them. So I know her artwork really does resonate. And I'm excited for this one. I really am. I think this is going to have such a moment for me in the next few months. This one and the Wooden Tarot, they've been on the brain. They've really been on the brain. And I'm so excited about that. So, it's the Rain Shadow Tarot. Hooray! This is one just called the Halloween Tarot. This was gifted to me a long time ago by Andy. And it's definitely from Etsy. I feel like I've seen it on Etsy. If you just search Halloween Tarot on Etsy, I'm sure you'll find it. But I don't know the creator off the top of my head, but it's a fun one. This one, it's full of vintage Halloween images. What more could you ask for? So of course this really is one that it's only out in October. Look at the backs. Oh, it's just like a fun Halloween good time. And I'm pretty sure this creator has a Christmas one too. That I bet is so fun. But yeah, I love it. It's good. Really fun in October. See you. I'm pretty sure it's just called the Halloween Tarot. Okay, next up. Oh my gosh, there's another deck that ended up, another mass market deck that ended up in this pile. How did I do that? Wow. I amaze myself. Okay, well, let's just do that next. Let's just get that one. Another special spotlight. This is mass market, not indie. And it ended up in that pile, but Murder of Crows Tarot. Hello. This one is intense. This is an intense, really intense deck for me. This is one that I really, really like, but I gotta be ready for that. The pairing I always love seeing, Jess from Jess Reads Cards pairs this with the, gosh, what's the oracle? Am I ever gonna remember the name of it? I am like either so good with names or so bad. It's like either I'm gonna remember it forever or I am never gonna know it. And this one fell in the never... Divine Muses. Got it! She did a single card draw from each of these decks, and oh, they were so cool together, but yeah, really intense. This one carries kind of like Morgan, Odin energy. I mean, crows, so yeah. But very intense imagery, but I really enjoy it. And it's one that, like, if I'm in the space for it, it's so good. It's so good. So, Murder of Crows. Mass market. Just kind of snuck its way over here somehow. Okay. Then, we've got Gardens and Goblins. Is this not just the perfect bag for it? Oh my gosh. I love it. And I love this deck. Especially now that I play D&D. I have like, oh, I'm just having even more fun with this one. It's a summertime deck though. For certain. It's just solidly there for me because of the garden aspect, of course, but I love that we get all these D&D magical creatures within this garden. It feels like the real fun I had with this deck this summer was while I was gardening, I liked pulling cards from this because it felt like, especially doing like a single card draw, it was like, oh, here's my companion in the garden for the day. Here's the energy the garden's gonna bring. It was so fun in that way. It was so fun. I really enjoyed it, especially if I knew I just wanted to go out and garden, but didn't have an exact plan. It was really fun to use this deck as a way to guide of even just like asking what the garden needed. So fun. So, Gardens and Goblins Tarot. Hi, Stevie. You're sneaking your way over. Alright. Next up is the last Patrick Valenza Tarot, I should say, to show. And it is the Trion Fidel Luna illustrated pips, but the aquadoxical. This I saw Tegan Cosmic Creeper had this coloring. And there's just something about it. I was so obsessed with it when I saw her using it. And this one came up used somewhere, and immediately I was like, yes, no, I need that. She paired this with the, Fallen Angels Oracle. Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. But this to me is like my summertime Trion Fidel Luna. I don't even know. I don't want to even put it strictly as summertime. I think it really amazes me that Patrick Valenza, the way he just changes the colors, because all it is a change of the colors, but it completely changes the energy of the deck. It really does. So sometimes I feel like silly getting the same deck, different colors, but it is so shocking how much it changes. The way it reads, the energy it brings, and I just really love this one. I really love this one. It feels both kind of watery, but also ghostly. I really love it for that. So, that's the Trion Fidel Luna Aquadoxical. Alright, next is the Wizard's Tarot, put out by the Wizards of Barge. This one's wacky. It really is a wacky deck, and I love it. This one just makes me laugh. I don't use this one much either, but it was a pretty inexpensive deck. Another one, are we surprised? I got it used. I love a good honestly, secondhand anything. Clothes, books, decor, tarot decks. I'm so here for it. But yeah, this one's wild. As I always say, it makes me think of the Magician episode from Adventure Time, which is one of my favorites. The Magician battle one. So I just love it. Oh, I love it. It's so weird and wacky. Stevie is scratching at my chair. She definitely wants attention right now. But that's the Wizard's Tarot. I love it. Oh, she's gonna stand on my record. Hold on. Okay. She likes to sit on top of my record player when it's closed, but it was open with a record on it, and she is not beyond just sitting on the whole thing. So you have to act quickly when that happens. All right. The Stolen Child Tarot. I love this one. This is another one it's kind of weird. It's kind of strange, but I really like it. I love the artwork. So this is a second copy of this one because I do have one that I trimmed what did I certainly trimmed the 3 top borders, and I do think I took off till just under the words of the bottom. And that was when I could not riffle shuffle decks, so I just hand over handed it. And I don't know, I just didn't want the borders for some reason. And that version is cool, but as I don't know, certainly now that I know how to riffle shuffle, and I've just grown to like borders, I found that it really felt like I wasn't using the deck because I didn't like how I trimmed it. Or not, I think it looks cool trimmed. I didn't like the experience of using it anymore because I could not riffle shuffle it easily. I really won't, unless it really feels like it needs it, or either way, I'm not going to be able to trim it, or riffle shuffle it. I won't trim decks much anymore. I used to be a big deck trimmer, but I won't do it anymore because I love riffle shuffling so much, and it's become so much a part of my process. And I cannot for the life of me measure out an exact trim. So it always ends up kind of wonky. So that's my explanation there. So yeah, I'm really glad I got my hands on an untrimmed copy because I really, really like this deck. And I have the printed out PDF guidebook now. And it's just a really fascinating deck. The artwork is so gorgeous. Oh, you can like hear this baby's laugh, right? I love this one. I really love this one. So, Stolen Child Tarot. And I'm just excited to know that, like, it was one of those things where I was like, I know I will use this more if I just have an untrimmed copy. Because even so, I still used the trim one all the time, especially this one's really, like, spring and summer for me. But it's just, it felt like one that could be a top favorite if I just had it untrimmed. So, we took that plunge, and I'm very excited about it. Next, we've got the Story Medicine Tarot Green Edition Seaweed Sisters. This is really cool. I've always wanted to try one of these decks, but they are quite pricey. So when someone was selling this one on Instagram, I want to say, I immediately went for it because I've just always been so fascinated by these tarots, and it does not disappoint. It's really, really cool. Another one that feels very ancestral. It fits in super well with that, like, Tarot of the Crone, Weaver's Oracle, where it's that ancestral feminine lineage. And I just really love it. This one really focuses, it's interesting. It feels watery and really focuses on the idea of hair, which I think is so fascinating, because hair really does hold so much importance, and I think it's so interesting that it does. It's something I like to think about. I don't know. And this one really does examine kind of a lot of imagery through the hair. Seems like a focal point a lot. It's so cool. So I really, really love this one. It feels so special. That is the Story Medicine Tarot, the Seaweed Sisters. Alright, we've got officially three more to show here. Hooray! Next, we've got the Yonasa Yaus. This is the 6th edition in the medium size. Lots of words there. And this is another one I got secondhand because I really wanted to try it. I feel like there's always a lot of buzz around these decks, and I wanted to know what it was all about, and I think the artwork is so beautiful. And someone did so kindly send me there is a PDF guidebook. I have to find it again. Because I had to reset my iPad. Annoying, because it wasn't letting me do the right updates, so I'm not sure if I lost some of those documents, but regardless. This is a beautiful deck. I really honestly don't ever feel drawn to use it, though. I don't know what that is, what that's about. But I feel like I've heard a couple other people say that at this point now, and I was like, oh my gosh, I thought it was just me, but it's not. It's not. And I can appreciate how beautiful this deck is, but it's almost like, I don't know, it's like we haven't figured each other out. Because it's stunning. Oh my gosh, is this deck stunning, and I think the shape of it is so interesting. It's one I really would like to use more, but I don't know. As of right now, it's one that kind of is just hanging out here. And I won't get rid of this one. I shouldn't say get rid, like rehome. I'm not really ever just getting rid of something. But, I mean, this definitely feels more so like spring to me. Maybe late winter, spring. So, we'll see. I don't know. If you have this deck, let me know what you pair it with, how you like to use it. Because I think the artwork is so undeniably gorgeous that it's like, I want to use this more. I love it. I love the backs. Oh, so pretty. The whole thing is so pretty. So it's one of those where it's like, what is the deal? What's the deal? Yonasa Yaus. Okay, next up we've got the Whispering Spirits Tarot by Joanna Nelson. Oh my gosh. Love this one. Love this one. This is my deck I go to when I just feel myself really like having a moment. Usually it's when I can feel myself building up to a bit of a meltdown, or when I'm coming down from having one, because they are, what's the word? Unavoidable. They're unavoidable. It happens. And this is one that it brings me so much comfort, especially really, I should say, in those coming down moments, because of course, I mean, if you've never experienced that kind of meltdown, it doesn't feel good while it's happening. It's something that's necessary to bring myself back into equilibrium, but especially like more so consciously knowing what it is that's happening as an adult, it can just, there's a little bit of a feeling of embarrassment, even though there shouldn't be, of course, but there is. And this is just a deck that, I don't know, just makes me feel good. It makes me feel better after it, and it's there's so much gratitude I have towards this deck for that, because that's such a big role to play. But it's another one I really love going to when I'm having just moments where talking is hard, which happens. Because these creatures don't have mouths, so they're quiet too, you know? Oh, I just love it. It's one that really, it brings me a lot of comfort and aid when I need it. Whispering. Oh my gosh, of course the camera overheated right before the last one. So quick, before it does again. The Teddy Bear Tarot! I love this one, I love this one, I love this one. I have been so obsessed with pairing this one with the Cozy Witch Tarot, using the Cozy Witch as more of an oracle. How can this deck not make you feel good? And the backs. There's something so cozy about it, so nostalgic about it. I was a big stuffed animal gal in general, but oh, I love teddy bears. I still do. I love teddy bears. So this one just, oh, it's so good. This one comes out a lot for me. I love it so much, especially, again, the combo with the Cozy Witch. It's something magical. I'm telling you. So good. So, that is the Teddy Bear Tarot and the last deck I have to show today, and we are officially, I'm pretty sure, unless someone's sneaking somewhere else, the last indie tarot I have to show you. So next time we'll be moving on to the mass market oracles. So I hope you're as excited as I am, because I'm so excited. And I'll see you again very soon.